Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are so excited to have wife, actor, producer. She does it all.
Oh, wow.
She's, yes, Bravo's, married to medicine. Asha Kamali's in the house. Yes, and I got the name right.
You did well.
Right? Yeah, I'm a slow learner, but when I learn permanently.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you are a very busy woman. Like, they're calling you the multi-hyphenate producer, actress, also a reality star.
Yeah.
So what's your key to balancing all of that?
You know, I think it's just a journey. You know, you just figure new things out every day. For me, it's being still because my life is like this. And one day, I got to cook breakfast still, right? And then I need to go to an audition, and then I need to film. So for me, I just try to find at least one moment of stillness. So far, that's what's working.
I love that because I would imagine it's one of the challenges I think we all face today is the context switching all the time.
Yes.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting, and you have to realize what, that all of that works on you.
Yeah.
You know, you can be all these things to all these people, but it all works on you, meaning that, you're giving a piece, and you got, for me, I've had to realize, okay, what do I need? What can serve me? So, and then if all else fails, I turn on Beyonce.
There you go.
So I have a question.
Always winning that way.
You're highly successful. We've studied so many people, and you can't really explain the how. People hustle, it's the flow, you get into whatever. But I want to know, what is your why? What had you come into this line of work? What is your why for doing what you're doing?
That's a great question. I think it's so important to have a why. And for me, I was very clear on my purpose. My parents named me Asha Kamali. It means protective spirit of life.
Oh, wow.
So I've just always been taught to be intentional. And for me, it's very important to reflect the image I want to see. I remember when I was a little girl and I searched for people who looked like me on TV, who were, doing things that I wanted to do, who were, dancing or acting, or, they were doctors, they were lawyers. I was just, in desperate search.
Right.
I remember, I think her name was Debbie Turner. She was Miss America.
Yeah.
And I think was she the first Black Miss America? Don't quote me. Maybe she was the second. But I remember how big that was for my sisters and I at, 8.
Wow.
To see her and to see that the world said, look, she's a beautiful, smart, intelligent woman. So for me, I strive to do that for some little girl.
I think it really is that, it's that potential, putting that potential in consciousness.
Yep.
And that's one of the greatest things we can do. It makes them, because we're really here to just be the full potential of whoever we are. And when they see you there doing that, it's a beautiful gift to give to the world.
It's amazing.
Well, seeing you on Bravo is hashtag goals. Okay. Let's take a look at the show.
Okay.
LA is all about image. Get it. Get it.
What do you eat, Imani? Air. Looking good and feeling good. We're gonna fix you up, girl.
And that's just gonna hurt.
You're at a higher risk for prostate cancer. Black doctors in LA, it's like running into a black leprechaun.
And just take some slow, deep breaths, okay?
That patient's afraid of needles.
Count of 3. 1.
Ow! Oh, look at this poorly papa. Hey, it's a black doctor.
At this school, there's not a lot of kids that look like me.
You tell me I'm not gonna see my kids? Get out of here with that.
Let's have a baby, and then we'll figure it out.
The first 2 years you and your husband were together, there was back and forth with this ex.
But this girl just insinuated my husband's cheating on me.
You are insecure.
Bitch, you need to get up.
She's lying.
She wanted drama.
Push those demons to the side.
Hallelujah!
Welcome to LA.
Uplift the energy for today.
Welcome to LA.
Welcome to LA.
You're being so very real and vulnerable, though, about your personal journey and with fertility on the show. What's that been like for you?
I'm 39. I'll be 40 in T minus a few weeks. So
Immortal. You're immortal.
I know.
Immortal.
My stepmother calls it level 4. So I'm level 4, right? But for me, it's important to be transparent. I think that the universe rewards authenticity. So that's why my husband and I just chose to do the show, because those images are important. And it's important for people to see women who we're always told, my mother told me to go to school, right? Then go get my master's in theater and then do this. We never talked about babies and husbands. It was more about, you know, creating your own. Where her mother told her to go get a husband. So I feel like a lot of people in my generation were looking up, you know, over 35, and we're like, oh, that's right. That's right. You need to, you know, work on kids. So, you know, I just think talking about that mindset is what I was really interested in, you know what I mean? And how we're, you know, told to be go-getters, but you do have to figure out, you have to carve out space for those babies.
Do you believe you can have it all?
I think you can have it all, but not all at one time.
Well said.
I agree with that.
That's what I think.
Yeah, it's powerful. What's surprised you most about doing the show?
The drama.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's funny because people are like, well, it's a reality show. You didn't think you could, and you know, you didn't know about the drama. And I think I was a little naive because, you know, I'm very much, I mean, as a producer and an actress, and I have a web series that I produce, I'm very much like, oh, I know, you know, I can, you know, I know how to give a story. You know, I think I even did like an orientation for the other ladies. I had handouts. I had handouts on. I mean, and I had no idea because I'm a scripted girl. Like I know the page, I know lines, I know words. So it was hard to just like, like I'm like, well, what are you doing? They're like, let's go.
Well, speaking of being a scripted girl, we got to talk about Star. Working with Queen Latifah, what was that like?
You know what? Crazy part, I'd never met her because first of all, there's so many different characters on the show.
Really?
So she wasn't there. My storyline is kind of with Keke Palmer, and I mean, I probably met everybody else, but I've heard so much about her. You know, she has that presence where everybody's like, when Queen's here, oh my, you know, it's an amazing thing.
Well, it's so interesting though to even have that conversation because so many people would watch a show and think your paths cross all the time.
No, never. I would love to meet Queen Latifah if you're watching. I can't wait to meet you. Yeah, but no, I've never met Queen Latifah. No.
Is there a role in which you would love to play? Or?
I would. You know, I have this thing about playing someone that I've just always admired and looked to. Someone recently told me that I could play Diana Ross. And I was like, I could do that. You know, I'm a little Mahogany remake. I also am in love with Eartha Kitt because I was a dancer. I started off as a dancer. So I would love to do a biopic, you know, something where I could get my chops, you know.
Who would you want to play you?
I just hope anybody would ever play me. Can we just start there?
That in of itself is something to do.
It could be anybody. I mean, it could be whoever. As long as if they are doing a story about me, then I have done what what I'm supposed to do.
I think there will be a story about you. There already is. There's a reality show. That's going to lead to a movie.
Well, I'll take that.
So how do you how do you keep your faith going in the middle of all of it? How do you? Because I think it's important for people to see that there's women of faith that still can have some drama and be material and still be women of faith, right? How do you carry that through?
You know, I do think that our show, all of the cast members, except for one young lady, I would say most of us were really on that page. And that's why I did the show when I met them. One of my best friends is on the show with me. So seeing the cast was all women of faith and they were all trying to create positive images, that helped. I think at the end of the day, you really have to know who you are. And for me, the most powerful word is no. So even though I'm on the show and even though, there's producers and there's this and that, I can always say no. And I can say it with a smile, I can say, no, actually that doesn't feel like me. That actually doesn't feel like me. And then they actually respect it. They're like, oh. And then people are inspired to go back to the drawing board and figure out what does work.
It's such a good point that your no can be a positive, life-affirming.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't have to be.
It's a complete sentence.
Yeah. I love that.
The power of the positive no.
Yeah.
There you go.
With a smile,
Yeah.
And
Do you think that it's that, and what else has led you to the success that you've experienced?
I think that I have really leaned on, encouraging myself. There's a gospel song that says, encourage yourself. And I think in this world, you really have to build a muscle for that because you don't always have mom or sister or friend. Sometimes you really have to have that muscle where you can encourage yourself. And for me, that has sustained me. I've been here for 15 years as an actress and a dancer. And those moments have allowed me to say, hey, Asha, if no one else sees you, I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amen.
Well, your name says it all. Thank you so much for gracing Hollywood with your consciousness. That's what I would say.
I appreciate it. And I'm glad that even a morsel of that shines through this.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
It absolutely
It
does.
does.
Tell everyone when and where they can watch the show and follow you.
Absolutely. You can tune in to Married to Medicine on Sundays at 8 Central on Bravo.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, stay tuned.